So again, welcome LaFaye and Pat to Good Morning Enid. Pat, I'll begin with you and LaFaye next. MLK Day, just right off the bat, what does it mean to you?
Well, to me, it means celebrating his legacy and keeping it going. And I think if we celebrate it every year, the young people will really understand what he was all about, because he was about unity, family, and community, and service. And we want to serve one another. So I think that's what it means to me, just continue his legacy.
And we'll talk in just a few moments what you think his legacy is. So LaFaye, to you, the same question. MLK Day has been celebrated for a number of years, but to you personally?
Yes, and also he was a man of faith, and his approach was always a peaceful approach to whatever the issue was, and that has always impressed me as a man, and I just agree with his philosophy on life, and I just think he's a wonderful role model for us today.
In preparation for our visit today, I needed to kind of revisit some notes, and I found where Dr. King's birthday is January 15th. He was born in 1929, so he'd be celebrating his 90th birthday on January 15th. So let's go back to Pat, because you mentioned the word legacy. What do you think his legacy message is?
Well, I think his message was about love and unity and equality, because his dream speech was to have everybody created equal and not by the color of their skin, be judged by the color of their skin. So his whole message to me, his legacy, was about love one another. We have to love, and I think the only way we can do this is have Christ in our life, and that's what she said. He was a man of God and faith. So his legacy, his message was unity, love, peace, all that equality.
Yes.
So that's what I think his message to the people were.
And to reinforce that message, it's very important where individuals such as yourself, all of us, keep Dr. King's legacy alive.
That's right.
His efforts alive, and not keep it in the history books.
Yes.
But to have these celebrations.
Exactly.
And so, LaFaye, we have an event coming up on the 12th, Saturday. One of my favorite topics is always food.
Okay.
And I always enjoy breakfast. I know you do too. So the MLK breakfast, prayer breakfast, is coming up.
Yes.
Tell us everything about it, the cost, where it's at, and I think it's a fundraiser event, right?
Okay, yes, it is one of our fundraiser event, and it's going to be held at the Central Assembly Family Life Center on Oxford, and the commission, we decided that we need to form a prayer breakfast, and this will be our second annual fundraiser and prayer breakfast, and we have plenty of good food, like pancakes, scrambled eggs, sausage, fruit plates, and so we just would like to invite you to come on out. That will be Saturday the 12th. And
the cost again?
The cost is $5 for adults.
Oh, man.
And $3 for children. So
very affordable.
Very affordable. So we would like for you to come out and celebrate an atmosphere of prayer for not only our commission, but for our nation, our city, our leaders. And so that's why we decided we needed to have and form a prayer breakfast.
And that gets underway this Saturday, 8 a.m. at Central Assembly.
That's right.
And the prayer breakfast. And you can attend the prayer breakfast even if you're not a breakfast eater, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, okay.
Yes.
Of course, I'm a breakfast eater, but
all right.
Just want to give those options.
Bring your tummy with you.
Okay. Let's talk about the funds a little bit. Hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars could be raised in the prayer breakfast. Pat, where do the funds go?
Well, the funds go in our fund, and we continue to support the Interracial Women's Scholarship. It's a scholarship fund, and we continue to support the Interracial Women. So that's part of the funds. Some of the funds, we buy trophies, plaques, we give out awards. That's what a lot of the funds go to. Mainly the Martin Luther King Scholarship goes to a senior that's graduating, and we support Interracial Women every year.
We're going to come back in just a few moments and talk about the event on the 19th, because there's the walk, and then also the actual meeting. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what the theme means to both of you. So our special guest this morning, Pat Stevenson and also LaFaye Austin, talking about the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. events set for Enid, Oklahoma. We have two more topics to discuss, and let's talk about the theme, choose love, hate is a burden. Pat, explain, each year there's a different theme. Why this theme?
Well, we chose this theme this year because, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King, that was one of his quotes. He said, I would rather stick to love because hate is a burden. You know, hate is a burden if you think about it. So love was his thing, and he was all about love. So this is the perfect thing this time of year. This year, people just, it seemed like there's so much hate going on, but he would choose love than to have hate be a burden. Wouldn't you choose love?
Absolutely.
Do you choose love?
Absolutely.
Choose love, Mr. Steve. Choose
Okay.
love because
Boy, she put me on
hate
the
is a
spot
burden.
there.
Hate is a burden, and that's why we chose this for.
Yes.
That was one of his quotes,
Yeah.
and that I sometimes I get tears in my eyes. I almost think about how much he loved. He wanted people to love one another
That's
as you love
right.
yourself. That's scripture. Love
That's scripture.
one another. Love your neighbor. You love your neighbor. Love your neighbor.
Both of them. Both
Okay.
of them.
That's right.
That's
But
why.
we've got just almost a minute to go, LaFaye.
Okay.
But we need to talk about it. Very important. We have the walk coming up on the 19th, and then the
Yes.
actual program. I
Right.
think the walk is at 2 o'clock. The program's at 2:30.
That's
Who
right.
could attend? Where's it at? Fill us in on the walk.
The whole community of Enid and anybody else can attend. We welcome you to come out and celebrate with us. And like you said, the program begins at 2 o'clock. That is the march, and at 2:30 the program begins. And in that march, I'd like to encourage you to come and sing and march with us, because that was the spirit of showing love in the Martin Luther King March.
Okay. So rain and snow, the walk goes on.
Rain and snow, the walk goes on.
Prayer breakfast is January 12th.
Yes.
The walk and the program is January 19th.
19th.
All
that's
to
correct.
celebrate the legacy and life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. LaFaye Austin, Pat Stevenson, our special guest on Good Morning Enid. Thank you for being our guest as well. It is Thursday, January 10th, and we're good for the day. And make it a great one. Thanks for joining us.